our first bone marking is the angle. So in my hand you can see that there is mandible bone, and this point is known as angle. Angle is basically a corner. Mandible angle, we can say angle is a corner. Similarly, I am having scapula bone, original one, and this is the inferior angle of the scapula. All right, angle done. Now we are going to discuss about the body of the bone. So body is the main portion of the bone. This is basically the main portion of the bone, also known as shaft and the diaphysis. All right, diaphysis, shaft and the body, the main portion of the bone. This is a femur bone in my hand. All right, now our third bone marking is condyles. So these are the two large rounded bumps present on the femur bone, which are the acting as a fitting point in the making of knee joint. So these are the condyles. All right, then we will discuss about the epicondyles. On the same bone, these are the epicondyles, which are the bump near the condyles, and provide attachment for the muscles. These are epicondyle, these are condyles. All right, now we are going to discuss about the facets. Facets are nothing but the flat surface of the bone. So this is the flat surface of the bone. Actually this is a rib and this is the head part. So head part of the rib is known as facet, which is actually making a joint, with the we can say facet articulation. This is the articulation point for the vertebrae of the thoracic vertebra, and this our rib is making joint over here, head portion making a joint over here like this. This is known as facet. This point is known as facet, flat surface that makes joint with the another bone, and this rib is moving forward and then downward to make the rib cage or the thoracic cage. Clear? And now we are going to discuss about the foramen. So foramen is basically a round hole for the blood vessels or the nerves to pass through, lymph vessels to pass through. This is basically foramen magnum, big hole through which our spinal cord passes under the base of the skull and makes connection with the brain. This is foramen magnum, round hole, foramina, also known as foramina. Clear? Foramen. Now we are going to discuss about the fossa. Fossa is basically a depression like structure. For example, I am having pelvic girdle, pelvic bones in my hand, and this part is known as depression part. For the articulation of the another bones of the pelvis. All right, fossa. Then coming next is the head part. Head part is the distinct epiphysis of a long bone, which is separated by the neck. So this part is the head part, round shape structure of the femur, which is fitting in the acetabulum. So this part is basically acetabulum, and our femur or thigh bone is fitting here like this, making a synovial joint filled with the fluid, etc. So basically this is the head part of the femur. This is the neck portion of the we can say long bone. Okay, then coming next is the meatus. Next bone markings are the meatus. So recall from the previous time period that what we had discussed. This is the foramen magnum, foramen, large hole. Our skull and body bones are having small tube-like structures for the passing of or acting as channels. This is the auditory meatus. This is a tube-like opening for the passing of external ear into the external ear into the middle ear and then into the inner ear. This is the meatus. Small channels or tube-like structures are known as meatus. All right, clear? Right. So now we are going to discuss about the process. Process is, what is process? Process is neither an activity nor a task that is going on, or nor a process, a physiological process going on in the bones or muscles. It is basically a raised area of the bone or the projection. For example, this is the thoracic vertebra and this is the raised portion of the vertebra known as spinous process. Another example we can take is this one. This is mastoid process, projection of the, we can say, temporal bone and coming outside. This is making mastoid process. All right, process is clear. Then comes the ramus marking. Ramus is once again our mandible bone is there, and this portion is known as ramus portion of the bone. Ramus is basically a curved portion of a bone. It is making curve. For example, previously I had told you that this is the angle of the mandible, or we can say angle corner, making corner. This is the curved portion. This is the ramus of the mandible joint. Then coming next is the sinus. Sinus is basically a air-filled cavity inside the bone. For example, when we see our skull from the anterior side or the front side, there is a cavity. As you can see, I had placed my forceps. There is a cavity inside the walls of the, we can say, frontal bone, and this is the air-filled cavity lined with mucous membrane of the ciliated type. Ciliated mucous membrane is there, and this is the frontal bone. Air-filled cavity. This is the frontal sinus. Behind this is the maxillary sinus and ethmoid sinus. Maxillary sinus and ethmoid sinus are there, cavity within a hole, which not only makes it light but also make it or helping us in resonance of the sound. Coming next is the spine. Spine is the elongated part similar to the process. This is the spine process of the vertebra, thoracic vertebra. This is the spine process of the thoracic vertebra, which is having attachment with the muscles of the back. All right, all clear? Having any doubt, having any query, you can ask in the comment section below. Very right. Coming next is the trochanter. Second last one is the trochanter. This is the we can say trochanter is the basically large bump present for the muscle attachment. This is the greater trochanter of the femur. This is the lesser trochanter. Greater trochanter, lesser trochanter, neck portion, head portion, we can say body. All right, condyles, epicondyles. All right, all clear? Then comes the tuberosity. For observing the tuberosity, I am rotating this femur bone very slowly, and you have to observe this notch, this we can say raised portion. This is not a complete rod-like structure, but here is some elongation like this for the attachment of the muscles. This is known as tuberosity. And when the tuberosity is of small size, it is known as tubercle. For example, once again our rib is there and there is a tuberosity for muscle attachment, internal and external intercostal muscle. This is tuberosity. When the tuberosity is small, it is known as tubercle. So my dear students, this was all about the bone markings. Thank you for watching this video.